Here it is, the prize for the Lotus Shootout. It is a 2004 first edition Lotus Sport Elise in yellow. There is also a gold version of this, which I have, but this one I think makes a better prize for this, and I'm keeping the gold one because I love it. Anyway, this will be sent out to the winning driver wherever they are in the world. Good luck. Greetings Diecast Racing fans, Sharky here and welcome back to Vulcan Raceway for this episode 3 of the Lotus Shootout. Today Group B, and I think set 2 is where it's all going to be about. We've got 8 cars going down the track today. We have some really nice classic Lotuses. I think my favourite colour scheme is going to be the one that James Stirling is driving in set 1, which is the Black Esprit S1, which is in JPS Lotus colours in the black and gold. I hope he does well. It's my favourite colour scheme of these. So, who have we got racing today? We've got car 2, James Stirling in the Black Esprit S1. We've got car 4, Moose in the Black Esprit. That's going to make calling it hard. Car 6, Greasy in the Silver Elise 340R. This one was sent to me by Scoop over at Poverty Hollow in America, so a big shout out to him. Thank you very much. I've been looking for a 340R that actually rolled, and this one does. So yeah, I hope that does well for Greasy. And car 8, Erick Z, the Mexican racing phenomenon in the green McDonald's Elise. So that's set 1. Set 2, so we've got car 10, John Receveur in that yellow Sport Elise. We've got car 12, Brandon from the Scale Racing Channel, that Line 2008 Evora Matchbox, the fastest car in testing. We've got car 14, ArTchN in the red Emira, and we've got car 16, Hakari Rin in the red Evija. Now, Hakari was joint fastest on the other lane with Rainbow Girl. Rainbow Girl went through, as we saw in Group A, as the top point scorer, so Hakari is never one to rule out. We'll get a quick track overview, we'll get down to the racing, but don't forget to do the usual things like comment and subscribe. So track overview, not that much has changed. My blue M250. Kelvin Raven's daily driver. The last winner from last time, Q-Boy's truck. I'm sure that will get put down by his thing down here at some point. VIP limos, the Vulcans, track owner's car, some of the drivers' vehicles. And who have we got racing today? Well, there you can see James Stirling stood beside that gorgeous JPS Lotus coloured Esprit S1. We'll see how that goes. See Hakari down there. The track safety teams are all ready. Our thanks go out to our sponsors. My brother Phil at Tomley RC, John at Modelmatic, the team at the BERCC, Kelvin Raven at Raven Customs, and this episode's main sponsor is Cuboid at 4 Cubed Racing, there with John from Modelmatic and the track owner. You can see here the 4 that are already through to the top 8. We've got Rainbow Girl there with Kelvin Raven and Princess Sparkle stood with them, and the Flying Fenman. We've got Patty Cakes, we've got the V-Man, and we've got Matthew Harding, and the 4 that are going to the bottom 8. Let's get these 4 up to the line and get down to some racing. And on the front of the blue lane is the Esprit S1 of James Stirling in the JPS Lotus colours. On the front of the red lane is Moose in the Black Esprit. Behind him is the silver 340R of Greasy, and on the rear of the blue lane is that McDonald's Elise with Erick Z from Mexico driving. 3, 2, 1, race. Black, silver are the only 2 to finish. The medical team have checked out James Stirling and he's okay. The results from that one: Moose was first in the blackest spree for 5, Greasy was second in the silver 340R for 3, and Erick Z and James Stirling failed to finish. Race 2 sees the black cars on the red lane and the others on the blue. On the front of the blue lane is Erick Z in the green car. Behind him is Greasy in the silver. The JPS of James Stirling is on the front of the red lane, and Moose in the black is on the rear of the red lane. 3, 2, 1. And the JPS got it right this time and is the only one to finish. The black cars are on the rear. On the front of the blue lane is the silver car of Greasy. On the front of the red lane is the green car of Erick Z. On the black of the red lane is the JPS of James Stirling, and Moose in the other black is on the rear of the blue lane. 3, 2, 1. And I apologise for not getting the overhead final slide of the finished position for Erick Z, Moose and James Stirling from the last one. I'll hopefully try and remember this time. Right, so the black cars are on the blue lane, the others are on the red. On the front is Moose in the standard black, and the JPS of James Stirling is in the rear of the blue lane. We've got Greasy in the silver on the front of the red lane, and we've got Erick Z in the green on the rear of the red lane. 3, 2, 1. Black, silver, black, green. So everybody finished. Results of set 1. Greasy in the silver had 11 points. Moose in the black had 10. James Stirling in the JPS had 7, and Erick Z had a single point in the green. Moving on to set 2, and this is where I think it's at, and I think that the only person who has a chance of being safe is Greasy, because I think all of these have a good chance of going through to the top 8. On the front of the blue lane is the yellow Esprit Sport of John Receveur. Next to him on the front of the red lane is Brandon from the Scale Racing Club in that lime Evora that set the fastest time and is current track record holder in the Evora, the 2008 lime green Evora, the Matchbox one. Behind him is ArTchN in that red one that I can never get the name of. Is it the Emira? Emira, that's right. And then Hakari in the Vergia is on the rear of the blue lane. 3, 2, 1. Yellow and lime green are the only two to finish. Hakari's pulled it up part way down. Currently, John Receiver's got 5, Brandon's got 3. They're starting on the red lane, and the red cars are on the blue lane. On the front of the blue lane is Hakari Rin in the Vergia. On the front of the red lane is John Receiver in the yellow. Behind him is Brandon from Scale Racing in the lime. And on the rear of the blue lane is the Emira, the red one, with ArTchN at the wheel. 3, 2, 1. Yellow, red, lime, red. Nice to see them all finish there. They're back up at the line. The red cars are on the front. ArTchN is on the front of the blue lane. Hakari is on the front of the red. John Receiver is on the rear of the red in the yellow, and the lime of Brandon is on the rear of the blue lane. 3, 2, 1. Red, red, lime, yellow. Moving into race 4, and they've all got it to play for. John Receiver's on 11, Brandon is on 7, ArTchN is on 6, Hakari Rin is on 6. The red cars are on the red lane this time. Brandon and John Receiver are on the blue. On the front of the blue lane is the lime of Brandon. On the front of the red is the red of ArTchN. Behind ArTchN is Hakari Rin in the other red, and John Receiver is in the yellow on the rear of the blue lane. 3, 2, 1, race. Lime, red, yellow. It has been another great day's racing. The final results are as follows. Going through to the top 8, we've got John Receiver, we've got Brandon, we've got Greasy, and we've got Moose. So John Receiver got 13 points. Brandon, with that so fast run on that last run. See what happens when he's on the front of that blue lane. Wow. He got 12 points. On 11 points is Greasy in the silver, and Moose is on 10. They're all going to the top 8. Going to the bottom 8 in the rear row. Very close and very unlucky for Hakari Rin. He's on 9 points. On 7 points is James Stirling in that JPS. On 6 points is ArTchN in the red. And on a single point is Erick Z in that green. I don't think Eric, unless he can get something done between now and in 3 weeks' time when we race the bottom 8, I don't think he'll be going through. What I'll do now is I will get them moved around into top 8 and bottom 8 points scoring order, and then finally we'll move them again and get them into set order. So please bear with me. Here they are lined up in points scored order. So for the top 8, you've got John Receiver on 13, Rainbow Girl on 12, Brandon on 12, Patty Cakes on 11, V-Man on 11, Greasy on 11, Matthew Harding on 10, and Moose on 10. It's going to be a tight thing in the top 8. I think it's going to be John Receiver, Brandon and Rainbow Girl. I don't know who the fourth one will be that will go through to the grand final straight from top 8. In the rear row, we've got the ones that are into the bottom 8. We've got Strike on 10, Hakari Rin on 9, reigning champion Cuboid on 8, Insane G on 8, Princess Sparkles on 7, James Stirling in the JPS on 7, ArTchN on 6, and Erick Z on 1. As far as they're concerned, Strike, I think, will go through to Redemption. I think Hakari Rin will go through to Redemption. I think Cuboid will go through to Redemption. I don't know who the other one will be that will go through. I think the ones that are going to get knocked out, I think ArTchN and Erick Z will be knocked out. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll get them moved around one last time for their set order ready for top 8 and bottom 8. Looking at the top 8, set 1, Patty Cakes, Rainbow Girl, Moose and Greasy. I think Rainbow Girl's got this one. I think she will beat those. Set 2's where it's all going to be. And you've got the V-Man, John Receiver, Brandon from the Scale Racing channel, and Matthew Harding. I think Matthew Harding's going to struggle. I think possibly 3 of those will go through with Rainbow Girl to the top 8. Bottom 8. Set 1. James Stirling in the JPS. Cuboid, Erick Z and Strike. I think Cuboid and Strike. And then, interestingly, I think it's the first time that we've had this situation. So, bottom 8, set 2. You've got Princess Sparkle and Hakari Rin, both work for Raven Customs. So Princess Sparkle ArtChN, Same G and Hakari Rin. These are 4 of the newest built Lotuses. We'll see how that goes. I actually think Princess Sparkles and Hakari should have that, but we'll see. We'll see. Right, this is probably quite long, so I'm going to stop waffling. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you all again next week.